Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, word to my brethren in Toledo, Ohio, and speaking of Toledo, Ohio, my main man, Robert Easter Jr., Bunny, uh, coming out, and he's exposing, talking about straight exposing, calling Mikey Garcia out, basically just because you guys remember I did a video recently where Mikey Garcia recently went into why he didn't fight Robert Easter Jr. He was basically going into the whole thing about money and purses and whatnot. So you can go check that video. That'll be in the description, so you can refer back to that. But you know, Mikey Garcia didn't want to fight Robert Easter Jr. And I said it doesn't matter whether you think he could beat him or not. The fact of the matter is, I think he ducked the guy. He's ducking Lomachenko, he's ducking Linares, and now apparently did Robert Easter Jr. And now it's been further confirmed by Robert Easter Jr. himself, straight from the horse's mouth, that yeah, it was a duck because Robert Easter called Mikey Garcia's decision to face Lipinets a lame excuse. Here's what he said verbatim. He said, I quote, "That's just a lame excuse not to fight. I don't produce enough fans. What does Lipinets produce? No disrespect to him, but come on now. Everybody knows that is not true. I have fans all over. My fan base is big. Like I said, man, it don't matter if we fought in a room with nobody. It shouldn't even matter. If the money's good and the contract's good, then we should fight. I wouldn't care about fighting in front of nobody because I know what I'm gonna do." End quote. So there you have it. A lot of you guys were saying, "Oh, he didn't duck Robert Easter Jr." and all this stuff, and I'm just hating on Mikey Garcia because he's just a new guy to hate on since Andre Ward left the sport. And it's not like that, man. The dude's just being the diva. Like the dude went to Lomachenko and he was like, "Yo, we're gonna fight at 135, make a big pay-per-view fight." Now he's fighting 140 against a guy who's paper champion. So like I don't understand the reasoning behind you Mikey Garcia fanboys when you come up in here and you start shooting off at the mouth. A lot of times I don't even respond. I just read your comments and just laugh to myself. And then when I feel like it, I come smack you guys up in the comments. But like, I don't know why. If you're Mikey Garcia, what realistically, like I said, what are the demands for an Easter fight? Robert Easter is not a big name. Neither is Lipinets, but I heard he's going to get paid about $3.5 million for the Lipinets fight. So I don't get it. I mean, I really just think he doesn't want to fight Robert Easter Jr. because stylistically, it's probably a harder fight for him. Robert Easter is a little bit taller, rangier, little probably more athletic than Lipinets. And you'd be led to believe more battle tested than Lipinets because he's fought the likes of Shafikov. He's fought the likes of, what's his name? Shafikov, Richard Comey, and now he's going to be fighting Javier Fortuna in his next fight. So Robert Easter Jr., his character is not to be questioned. He's been the one that in recent memory has been getting in the ring with top guys in the division. It's Mikey Garcia who's been out here cherry picking, fighting guys that are overmatched, fighting the guys like Rojas, fighting the guys like, Zlatikin, who are the weakest champion, fighting guys like Adrian Bona, who's flat-footed and is a C-class fighter. Now he's fighting Lipinets, who just struggled in this last fight with Akiri Kondo when there was options for him at 135. He could have fought like Robert Easter Jr. He could have fought a Miguel Pergel in an all-Mexican fight. He could have fought a Gervonta Davis and maybe made that happen. Not saying Flo put him in there, but I'm saying you could have at least explored that option. There was options for him at 135, and he's elected to not go that route and go for a title in a fourth weight class, so he could have that on the resume, which is fine. He wants to pad his resume, cool, but don't act and ask for the demand for the respect and the demands that top fighters like guys like a Romo Gonzalez or a Gennady Golovkin, or even like, even though I'm not a huge fan of him, I can't stand him for the life of me, but like even Andre Ward, as much as I don't like the guy got in there with Kovalev twice. He may have waited a little bit long to do it the second time, but he got in there with Kovalev twice. So my thing is just like, well, Mikey Garcia, man, like you're a good fighter. You got a lot of tools, in my opinion, like I'll put it to you guys this way: Mikey Garcia in boxing is what James Harden is to basketball. And here's why I say that is because James Harden in the NBA, like the dude doesn't have to try that hard, and he'll get a triple double in his sleep. He's just that damn talented. And it's the same thing with Mikey Garcia. The guy is just so talented. He's so good. He's so skilled that he doesn't have to even fight at 60 to 70% at his best to beat a fighter. He's that damn good. And because of that, sometimes guys like that, there isn't enough. There's not enough in here. You know what I'm saying? Like they're wired here and they're wired here, but they're not wired in here properly. And it's the same thing, man. So like until Mikey Garcia steps up and fights one of these top guys and beats them, or at least gives a good account of himself against one of these top guys, I'm not gonna believe that he is what Ring Magazine and the bias ass Los Angeles West Coast boxing media cracks him up to be. To me, he's a guy who at one point in his career, was under what historically is the best promoter in boxing in Bob Arum, the guy who's built the most pay-per-view stars in boxing over the last 20 years. And he was being moved well. He had very unrealistic demands, and now he's trying to break free from that, and he wants to get himself some more money. So I'm not mad at that. What I'm mad at is the fact that he's saying he's going to do one thing and he's doing another, and in my opinion, he's messing with the fans. So it's his career. The fans aren't going to pay your bills when your career is over. So I fully understand that. Just don't expect to be a pay-per-view star when you're not giving the fans and the consumers the scintillating fights that lead to you becoming pay-per-view. You get what I'm saying? Like, Oscar De La Hoya didn't become a pay-per-view star by fighting guys like Sergey Lipinets. Oscar De La Hoya became a pay-per-view star by fighting guys like Felix Trinidad, by fighting guys like Bernard Hopkins, by fighting guys like, Julio Cesar Chavez. That's how he became a pay-per-view star. And the same goes for the likes of Floyd. Floyd fought Corrales. Floyd fought, even though there's still things there with Floyd, but I'm saying Floyd fought Corrales. Floyd fought Gotti, even though Gotti was shot. He still took on the names and he gave scintillating performances. Mikey Garcia, since he came back from his long layoff, there's a lot of can fight. That was a fantastic performance, albeit against a very, very overmatched opponent. You had him fight against Broner, which was a good dominant performance, but I wouldn't call it a scintillating fight because Broner didn't offer enough. So what I'm saying is Mikey Garcia has to challenge himself the same way guys in the past who pay-per-view stars did to become pay-per-view stars. And that's just how it goes. You can't deviate from that and expect a different result. And that's just my thing with him. So, yeah, man, Robert Easter Jr., I think that'd be a great fight. I think that's a good fight for the Barclays Center. Obviously, it's not going to happen next because they both already have their fights lined up and scheduled. Yeah, man. As you guys can see, it wasn't just me hating Robert Easter Jr. saying himself out of his own mouth that it was a lame excuse, because you got to think of it, man. Like Sergey Lipinets he's a good skilled fighter, so we don't want to call him a trash fighter. He's undefeated fighter. Although I thought he lost last fight, he's an undefeated fighter, skilled boxer, slick boxer, can punch a little bit, has things in his skill set that can give Mikey problems, but it wasn't the most dangerous fight for Mikey, and it wasn't a fight at 135, which is where the big fights for him ultimately are, at 135 with Linares and Lomachenko. So, and even Easter was probably one of the only acceptable fights outside of Lomachenko or Linares. So it's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of guys in my comment section talk about, Mikey Garcia. Well, you know what? To hell, until he starts showing improvement against the top of the top in this damn year, don't talk to me about Mikey Garcia, man. He's a ducker and he's a cherry picker. I think that's what it is. So, yeah, man. Hopefully, I would like to see Robert Easter Jr. get a W against Fortuna, honestly, and that's going to be a very hard fight for him, because Fortuna at one point in time, was looked at to be the guy at 135 or 130, whatever, 135, when he fought Jason Sosa. Before he fought Jason Sosa, around that time, he was looked at to be the guy, and he got surprisingly knocked out by Jason Sosa, and his hype has died down tremendously. So it's a fight where Fortuna's looking to make a big name for himself, but if Easter can go in there and have a dominant performance against Fortuna, which is going to be a very tough ask, then you're looking at all of a sudden Easter has beaten the likes of Richard Comey, who was a really tough fighter when he fought him, a good top 10 fighter. Then you fought Shafikov, which is a fight that I admittedly have not watched, but I know a lot of people thought Shafikov beat him. But regardless of the fact, he got in the ring with Shafikov, a guy that Shafikov he's beaten the daylights out of Jamel Herring. Shafikov has given Rancis Bartholomew hell. He's a good skilled fighter, Shafikov, and now he's fighting Fortuna, a guy that is, loss or no loss, one of the top fighters in the weight class. So it's a big fight for Robert Easton. And if he can win this fight, then maybe he can leverage that in to making Mikey Garcia fight next. So hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully Mikey Garcia can have a good performance against Lipinets. But to be honest, I won't be mad at all if Lipinets goes in there and shocks him. So that's what it is, man. So let me know what you guys think. Robert Easter just pretty much checking Mikey Garcia and exposing him, saying, hey, your little excuse about money and purses, it was a crock, pretty much. That's what he said. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I always say in every video, my name is Brendan Taylor, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.